Hey, what's up guys? This is a little update from before Canton Fair. I posted a little video that I was going to be there for phase 1. I am back for about a week now, and here's I guess what happened over there. I was sick beforehand. I got sick maybe a few days, maybe 4 days before China, and I felt pretty terrible. On the way there, I was just coughing like crazy. I felt really bad for the person next to me on the 12-hour flight from San Francisco to Hong Kong. It was actually a Google employee. They were going there to Phuket to have some kind of retreat. She works in the Android department. Oh, Nexus phone department. Anyways, I was just giving her shit about their supply issues. When they come out with a new Nexus phone, they're always out of stock at like the first day. And she was just kind of explaining what was going on that end of things. Probably got her sick. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was coughing really badly, and there was a few people that I've actually gotten sick just sitting next to me. My flight there to Hong Kong was fairly good. Slept through the whole thing. I didn't sleep the night before. When I got to Hong Kong, I got some rest, and then actually, I think second day, I felt really good. I felt like the sickness was over. I went to Guangdong, I believe, and went to party there. Kind of like had a good amount of drinks, and next day I felt like shit again, like just terrible. So basically my whole trip in China has been like taking extreme action for feeling better before the conference, and then completely ruining it because I'm like, oh dude, I feel great. Should just go to the club. Perfect. Go to a bar. Bad idea. Anyways, I stayed in Hong Kong about a week or so. It was pretty good. Highlight of Hong Kong was probably the hotel I was staying at. I'll put up some shots of the time lapses I did from my hotel room. I'm really new to the time lapse thing, so they're gonna be kind of shitty. But really good view from the hotel. It was in a quiet area where most people are just living, but it was like right next to a metro station, and the metro in Hong Kong is really easy and really quick. So I just took that instead. Even taxis are pretty cheap within Hong Kong. I don't know, compared to US prices, you're paying maybe $12-15 to get across town versus, you know, $40 to get from let's say JFK, or I think it was JFK to Midtown in New York, for example. Overall, just fairly cheap to travel amongst Hong Kong. And I stayed there, about a week or so, and then took the train to Guangzhou. I actually got my tickets online. My back and forth ticket together cost $105 or something like that. The reason it costs so much is because I use an online service. Basically, I ordered online, and they did all the convenience and ordering. You have to give them a scan of your passport and whatever. But when I arrived at the hotel when I checked into what was it called? The Hyatt Shatin or whatever. They had the way-bill ready already with my tickets inside, so I didn't have to worry about finding the tickets or picking them up. They already had them delivered, both the back and forth tickets, and everything was already sorted, so it was really convenient. So I just paid the extra, whatever, $40 for all the convenience. And when I got to, anyways, I took the train. It was about 2 hours. Slept through that too because I was feeling bad. The getting into China took kind of got really annoying. I was stuck there at at customs and immigration or whatever for about 30 minutes because US passports have this, I don't think I have my passport around, do I? I think I already packed it up. But US passports have this like laminate, especially mine. I don't know if it has an extra thick coat. But anyways, if you put it against the light, it'll actually reflect light, and it'll have some stars or some flags or some bullshit on it. And you can just actually, the Chinese use scanners to scan the passport in. Every other country uses scanners as well. They never have a problem scanning a passport in. But for some reason, they had extreme trouble both on the way in and on the way out of scanning my passport. On the way out, the guy just gave up, but on the way in, they literally like tried it with 3 different scanners. They manually entered the information. They took a photo of it. It was like a whole process. It took me about 30 minutes to get out of this customs and immigration or whatever. The station, pretty easy to hail a cab. Once you get a cab, you just nobody speaks English, so you just kind of show them on your phone what your hotel name or whatnot is, and then you head out to your hotel. I got some hotel that was actually kind of far away from the Canton Fair conference, so it was actually quite an issue getting there. I mean, they had the shuttle running every morning and every night, but because I was feeling so bad, I typically got out of Canton Fair about 3 o'clock to 3:30, and it took and I took the metro back to the hotel, and the metro took about maybe 40 minutes or so to get back to the hotel. It was kind of far away, so can't blame the metro or whatnot. The metro is really easy to use. I recommend getting a 3-day pass or whatever while you're there. It's like 65. He's still sick. It's like 65 RMB. I used it, very convenient. My hotel was primarily Chinese oriented, and they didn't really, like, almost nobody spoke English, and maybe front desk was a little better. There was like when the front desk was full, maybe 5 people or so, maybe one spoke really good English. And everything around me was kind of slow, so I didn't basically I just went to sleep really early and didn't do much in Guangzhou, just basically focused on business. After I got to the conference the first day, I realized I forgot my business cards, which really sucks. It really sucked initially, but it was actually a really good move because I go to another conference that is related to my email marketing business, and not having your business card at that conference is probably better than having one, because it really sucks when you get a bunch of business cards mixed in that are non-relevant to you, that you basically just don't need, and they get mixed up with other cards that are really relevant and that you really need. So I kind of liked that I only had WeChat. By the way, WeChat is awesome. It works for conferences. It's both a business and a non-business app. It's just an instant messaging app, not as responsive as WhatsApp or Telegram or something like that, but much better than Skype, and all the suppliers are guaranteed to have it. It's easy to add people. That was basically my business card, and because my name is very hard to spell and fill out all their information, they're like, can I have your email? I was like, I'm just gonna send it to you in WeChat. But because I didn't have my business cards, it didn't get into many people's wrong hands. On the second day, at first I thought maybe I should make some business cards, but on the second day I was sure I didn't want any business cards because so many random people came up to me, and I just took their card and said, no, I ran out of business cards, don't worry. And they're like, oh, well, no, okay, whatever. They just believed me. So I didn't get a bunch of crap business cards. I got maybe 2, just basically slipped to me while I was having conversations with other people. So it was just random cards for freight forwarding services and stuff. So overall, the conference is really fucking huge. Like, you have to walk, like by the end of each day, all you want to do is just sit. And that's basically what I tried to do with a lot of the suppliers, just kind of talk to them and have a seat. Everybody's super nice. Everybody offers you water, you know, do you want some water? Do you want candy? Do you want whatever? And I was like, man, I'm sick. I don't really want to be too close to you guys. I just wanted to kind of get a card and get out of there, or get a catalog or get out of there. Some of these catalogs are actually pretty heavy. Anyways, 3-4 days is perfectly fine for the Canton Fair, unless you want to check out every category, which I don't see why you would. Usually people focus on their products. I was there for consumer electronics. They have a ton of power banks, ton of like headphones, speakers, stuff like that. Didn't really interest me that much. They had some LCD TVs that were, I mean, you order a bunch, but you get them for really cheap. But shipping those, anything related to consumer electronics generally has a fairly low margin or very hard to deal with. So I tried to basically stay away from that category. But some of those power banks, like really cheap. I kind of wanted to get a few samples because I was running out of battery. So anyways, I kind of checked out a little bit of everything, but I focused on lighting and sanitary, I guess, just bathroom accessories. Let's see, and anything after that, I basically didn't do. I just kind of walked around and checked out some of the. They had like motorcycles there. They had like cars, full blown cars you could buy. There's just a lot of crazy stuff there, and huge machines. Like you could literally buy something that just makes cookies, like thousands of cookies per hour. It was pretty amazing. The cookies were delicious too. Anyways, after that, after the conference, the final day, I was already having a train out, and as soon as I arrived to the Hong Kong station, I didn't have a chance to get any medicine. I was taking this medicine basically daily, and I think I ran out or didn't have any medicine. Anyways, I could feel my head was a bit hot, but I felt great. Like I wasn't coughing. Didn't even have any nasal congestion or anything like that. I felt great. Anyways, get out of the train. I'm standing in line. There's a huge line of people. Like, and I'm probably the tallest guy because almost everybody on that train is Chinese. And I'm about 6'1". So I see these cameras. They're basically, I know what they're doing. They're measuring temperature. And I'm like, I swear to God, this thing's gonna go off as soon as I stand around there. So I'm just trying to hide my head because I know what this is gonna mean. This means another hour of waiting or whatnot. And everything starts beeping around me, and they know exactly who it is. I think it just shows a number on their screen that just says, 100 or whatever, 38.1. Anyways, I had a high fever. They took me in the back, asked me a bunch of questions. Where I was, what countries I've been in, have I handled chickens or poultry or something. I was like, guys, I was at a conference. I've been sick before. I've been sick since the US. Anyways, they gave me some sheet of paper in Hong Kong to basically get checked out at a doctor for free. But I was leaving the next morning at 10:30, so this was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the evening, so I'd have to go find a hospital. I thought they had at first they told me to get checked out at the doctor at the station. They had one at the station supposedly, but then they stamped my passport and said you can go. So I just left. Not really sure what I was supposed to do. Anyways, still sick. My doctor actually said I have acute bronchitis, so I got bronchitis. Basically, I'm supposed to get better with these antibiotics, which I'm pretty sure you're supposed to get antivirals for like flu and stuff, but I don't know. Anyways, after I got back to Hong Kong, just rested for that last day, and on the flight back, I felt actually pretty good. The flight back was surprised, like I noticed it right away because I was sick. Everybody was coughing on the flight back. It was really weird. The guy next to me, he was also visiting China. He was some contractor. I think in Shenzhen, he was a builder, like for high-end real estate or something like that. He said, man, I think you got the same cough as me, because I got a cough while I was in China, like caught it Saturday. Then a bunch of other people on the plane, you know, like when someone coughs and then everybody else starts coughing, like it's a chain effect. Same with sneezing. No, is it sneezing? Oh, yawning. If somebody yawns, everybody starts yawning. So the same thing was happening, but with coughing, and everybody's coughing on the plane. Like when I took my headphones off, you always hear somebody coughing. I'm like, man, this is really odd. I felt like it was a zombie apocalypse or something taking over. What I would recommend if you're going to the Canton Fair, WeChat. It's amazing. It's the bee's knees of the Chinese, and it's just amazing for both business. You can basically what you can do is just add all your suppliers, tag them, so you can even edit their name, put little tags on them, like, oh, this is the truck tire supplier, oh, this is the lighting supplier, oh, these guys have UL certifications, these guys don't have UL certification. Whatever details, and you can put remarks, add them in there. I recommend that. Don't forget your business cards. I'm not a heavy on business cards. I actually used Cam Scanner. I don't know if you guys... yeah, Cam Scanner. It's an app on on the Play Store. It's probably on... I'm sure it's on iPhone also. Anyways, it just scans the business card, cuts it down to business card size, and saves it and uploads it to the cloud, except in China, because Google Play is blocked. Google's blocked in general. Speaking of that, get a VPN. I used ExpressVPN, and I liked it a lot more than, I tried 2 VPNs while I was there. VPN.ac, not as reliable, but sometimes it was great, and other times it wasn't great. The internet in China in general is not great. It's like, I don't know. It's so unreliable. Even in a hotel, it'd be one night at the same time, because I upload my email lists at the same time. One night it would be working great, and the next night it would just not be working at all. Just keep disconnecting. One night I'd be watching. I don't think it was the VPN's fault. I think it was mostly just Chinese internet fault. But I had better success with ExpressVPN. Is the name of the application, and it has a bunch of spots you can connect to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is the fastest one in Guangzhou. Anyways, past that, you want to make sure, you have your everything for business or whatnot. Have a backpack with you, a light backpack to take to the conference. I took my camera bag or whatever. It was pretty dope. It worked amazingly well, and I generally just liked having it around, and I stuffed all my catalogs in there. They give you, a lot of them want to give you their catalogs, and they're quite heavy. I don't recommend taking all of them. I like to usually I'll take a picture of the inside of the catalog and then cam scan their card, and just mark the products I like. So they'll usually have their business card stamped to a catalog, kind of like so this, for example, right here, they'll have their business cards stamped to the catalog. A lot of these catalogs, like one of the catalogs I got was extremely heavy, and I immediately regretted having, like, my back hurt after carrying it around all day, because you're walking an insane amount, upstairs, downstairs. The Canton Fair complex actually has like maybe 3 or 4 levels, so they have like an underground level for a lot of the machinery and stuff was underground. They have a mid-level, and then they have second floor, and in between they have like fast food and stuff like that. Food, all I found was kind of alright in China. I'm used to much stronger tastes, and I didn't expect Chinese food like in the U.S. Otherwise, Chinese would be a lot fatter, I would imagine. Anyways, what else you need for China? A lot of people bring roller bags because of so many catalogs and stuff, and some people like to buy samples. For samples, I would just get express shipping, like get their information and get express shipping. Overall, I found prices at the Canton Fair to be much lower than stuff you'd find on Alibaba, especially after you meet them. A lot of them invited me to their factories, which I will probably be attending in October during the Canton Fair there. Probably spending maybe a week or two there. And I highly recommend going out there. I think you build a lot of rapport with the people you're working with, and you can kind of get a sense on what other people are doing. I didn't see a lot of American buyers there. There was very few. I don't know why there was very few American buyers. Maybe they go to other ones, but the sellers, the suppliers themselves said, a lot of the American buyers will go to the Berlin show or the Hong Kong show, and they said themselves, we quote higher prices when we're at those shows. So it was kind of weird. I mean, they're very honest, but again, even in Canton Fair, you're gonna deal with the same stuff you deal with Alibaba, where you have trading companies that pretend to be manufacturers. For example, we met some mirror company. They basically do LED mirrors and like the full set. They do cabinets and all that stuff, a full bathroom set. And they're like, oh, we buy the mirrors from a different factory. We don't actually manufacture them. So it's like you have to go through a lot, and a lot of them will lie to you just to kind of try to get the sale. But you can basically see in the prices whether somebody's a direct manufacturer or not. It's pretty easy to tell. And a lot of these factories, make sure to look at quality, especially samples. The stuff they bring to the show should be the immaculate, their best product, but a lot of times it's not. One of the lighting manufacturers, like you could see the LED strip coming off of the like the glue was coming off, and you could see the LED strip was leaning against the little plastic covering or whatever, the diffusion part, the glass or whatever, acrylic. You could see it leaning on, and I was like, yeah, this is your guys' sample. This is already falling apart, and it stayed within China. If you ship it out somewhere else, what's gonna happen to it? I mean, you're just gonna get a terrible product. And just pay close attention to the products. It's great to basically see the products in in person, and you'll be able to tell how good the products are going to be, or about how good they're going to be when they get to you. Always use an inspector. Anyways, I'm gonna go because this video is becoming extremely long, but I hope anyone that's already gone to the Canton Fair really enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.